Like I said before, today I'm going to talk about spring security in my side project, which is called Sago. I actually was made user service function by using Spring Security. Thinking of the architecture, I reminded lots of questions below, like this. For instance, how could I make those functions register, login, logout, and user info? Should I make all business logics be dealt with in controller? Can I use Spring Framework gracefully? How can I make authentication and authorization without security issues? So I'm gonna answer those questions each one by one. So first one, should I make all business logics be dealt with in controller? The answer is no. Uh, I'm not sure if you guys know Spring Framework exactly, but Spring Framework has various features. So one of those features is AOP, which is called aspects ob- aspects object programming abstract aspects oriented programming. So this means that you can separate business logic and programming functions. So um, uh, for this um, great benefit, we could add new features or business logics uh, at any time without any issue. And also, we can make or write test code easily. So for those reasons, we can think of that we don't have to write all business logics or um, programming logics in controller. So we can think that we should use other model, Spring model, such as um, Spring Security Cloud or WebMVC. So about regarding third question, how can I make authentication and authorization without security issues in Spring Framework project? So the answer is that Spring Security Model can provide authentication and authorization function. So before talking about Spring Security Model, we might have to discuss Spring-based application architecture. So first of all, there are two architecture of Spring Web application. One is MVC pattern, and the other is Web Flux. So in terms of MVC pattern, mm, when we get clients requests, HTTP requests, um, there is one context in Spring Framework that deals with all those HTTP requests, and that is called dispatcher sublet. And by getting those requests in dispatcher sublet, we can use those requests in a Spring-based context by splitting model, view, and controller. And based on this architecture, Spring Security is quite good enough to apply to handle authentication and authorization, and uh, we can deep dive Spring Security model architecture. There is Spring Filter in Spring Security, and Filter i- is has been provided by dispatcher sublet. So Filter can handle HTTP requests or HTTP header, and also if you want to um, leave user logs, you can use Filter. And on the other hand, there is similar technology with Filter, which is called Interceptor. So it is very similar with Filter, but the difference between Filter and Interceptor is that Interceptor um, has been provided by Spring MVC Spring MVC context. So um, basically, if you use Interceptor, you can um, use DI, which is dependency injection, uh, and also other Spring features. However, if you are trying to use filter, you are unable to use those functions basically. However, as you can see this picture, Spring Security filter, which is located in Spring Security, can be registered as bean objects. I mean, Spring MVC container. Yeah, Spring MVC container. So um, uh, ultimately, we could use filter like interceptor in Spring Security. So uh, the thing is that if you want to make user service or authentication authorization function, you could use Spring Security Model, which is provided by Spring Framework, or if you want to um, add more features such as um, connecting database or other co- complicated business logic, I would recommend you to use interceptor instead of filter. So that's the point of my presentation. And thank you for listening. And also, next session, I'm going to discuss JWT, JSON Web Token, and the various ways of encryption and of password. So, thank you.